So, good morning to all of you. So, in our last lecture, we have completed our chapter number 4, that is nothing but the psychrometry. So, we are switching to the second last topic of our subject, that is nothing but chapter number 5, heating and cooling load calculation. Heating and cooling load calculation. So, university has allocated total number of hours for this chapter is nothing but 8 hours, and syllabus for this topic is nothing but, so this chapter number 5 is also divided into two parts. So part A is related to the representation of actual air conditioning processes by layout and on psychrometric chart. Representation of actual air conditioning processes by layout and on psychrometric chart. Then second point is load analysis by RSHF, GSHF and ERSHF. So meaning of RSHF is nothing but room sensible heat factor, GSHF is nothing but grand sensible heat factor, and ERSHF is nothing but effective room sensible heat factor. Then enumeration and brief explanation of the factors forming the load on refrigeration and air conditioning system. So here, if you see, there is a numerical treatment for this part A. So this part A is consisting of the various problems based on the psychrometric chart. So actually we have seen how to solve the problems based on psychrometric chart. So here only by addition of RSHF, GSHF and ERSHF concept, how to solve the problem, and by considering the sensible heat factor load and latent heat factor load, how to solve the problem. So here this is the part A, and part B is related to the comfort condition. So here under part B we are going to see what is meant by human comfort, then what is meant by thermodynamics of human body, then comfort and comfort chart we have to see, then what are the various factors which are affecting on the human comfort, then concept of infiltration and ventilation and indoor air quality requirement. These are the points which we have to cover under the part B. So here, as the name of topic is heating and cooling load calculation. So whatever that heating and cooling load calculation is the basic requirement, for designing of any of the air conditioning system. So whenever we want to design any of the air conditioning system for any of the application, that may be for mall, that may be for cinema theater, or that may be for your office room or office also. So first requirement is we have to calculate the heating and cooling load. So there are two basic words. First one is called as heating load, and second word is nothing but the cooling load. So out of that heating and cooling load, so heating load will be calculated in the Western countries, where all the time the outside air temperature is very much low. So in that case, we have to calculate the heating load, and cooling load will be calculated in the Asian countries, where all the time outside temperature is higher. So for human comfort purpose, we require to lower the, or we require to cool the air. So that is nothing but the cooling load calculation. So as that heating and cooling load is the basic requirement, or is the basic part or heart of air conditioning system. So first of all, we'll start from what is meant by air conditioning, what is meant by air conditioning system, what are the different classification of air conditioning system. So step by step we will go. So first one is related to the air conditioning. So we are knowing the definition of air conditioning. So air conditioning is nothing but the process of supplying and maintaining desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. Process of supplying and maintaining desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition, that is called as the air conditioning. Or in another word, how we can control the desirable internal atmospheric condition. So those desirable internal atmospheric condition will be controlled by simultaneous control of 4 parameters. So out of that, first parameter is nothing but temperature, second parameter is nothing but humidity, third one is nothing but purity of air, and last one is nothing but the air motion. So air conditioning can also be defined as it is the process of simultaneous control of temperature, humidity, purification of air, and air motion to obtain desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. So that will be called as a air conditioning. So whatever air conditioning process will be there, so that entire air conditioning process will consist of various steps or will consist of various processes. Out of that, first process is nothing but we have to control the temperature. In case of air conditioning process, we have to control the temperature. Control the temperature means either we have to cool the air or we have to heat the air as per the requirement. Either we have to cool the air or we have to heat the air as per the requirement. Second thing, we have to control the humidity. We have to control the humidity. We have to control the humidity means either we have to add the moisture particle or we have to add the moisture content in the air or we have to remove the moisture content from the air. So addition of moisture in the air, that will be called as a humidification, and removal of moisture from the air, that will be called as a dehumidification. So either humidification or dehumidification along with control of temperature we have to do. So that will be called as the control of humidity. So after control of temperature and control of humidity, simultaneously we have to control the air motion also. So air motion means here we have to control the movement of air. We have to control the movement of air. At the same time, we have to control the distribution of air. So it will not be the case that if our room is likewise. Suppose this is our room, and suppose we have placed our air conditioning system at this location. So this will not be the case that whatever conditioning air is there, that conditioning air is only covering this much area. That conditioning air should cover all the area which is consisting inside the room. And here motion of the air, momentum as well as motion of the air should be equally distributed. That means equal amount of air should be distributed at each and every corner or at each and every point. So that will be called as a controlling movement of the air as well as distribution of the air. Then apart from this, we have to have the simultaneously control on the purification of air. Purification of air means there should be the proper cleaning of the air as well as filtration of the air. That means though you are controlling the temperature, though you are controlling the humidity, though you are controlling the motion of the air as well as distribution of the air, but if that air is consisting of some of the contaminant, or if the smell of the air is not proper, then whatever human beings which are sitting inside that enclosed space, those will not feel comfortable. So along with temperature, along with humidity, along with air motion, you have to also control the purification of air also. You have to also control the purification of air also, and at the same time you have to add some of the fresh air. You have to add some of the fresh air from the outside. That is also called as a ventilation. You might have observed that there are some people, those who will feel uncomfortable or there will be the problem of headache if that person will sitting continuously inside the AC. There will be the headache for that human being. Why this is so? If there will be the inadequate supply of fresh air, inside that conditioning room, then there will be the headache for that human being. So if there will be the adequate supply of fresh air, then that human being which are sitting in that AC will not will always feel the comfortable. Okay, so these are the various parameters which we have to simultaneously control. These are the various parameters which we have to simultaneously control to have the complete air conditioning process. Are you getting? So here now we have seen the definition of air conditioning. So we have to see the definition of air conditioning system. So air conditioning system is nothing but the system. Air conditioning system is nothing but the system which is effectively controlling all those parameters to have the desirable internal condition irrespective of external condition. So if anyone will ask you the definition of air conditioning system, if anyone will ask you the definition of air conditioning system, so you have to tell the definition, that is system which effectively control or which simultaneously control temperature, humidity, purification of air, motion of air to produce desirable internal atmospheric condition. To produce desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition, that will be called as the air conditioning system. Okay, so that is the definition of air conditioning system. Now after air conditioning system, after definition of air conditioning system, there will be the various types of air conditioning system. There will be the various types of air conditioning system, and classification of those various types of air conditioning system is made depending upon various parameters. So out of that first parameter, on the basis of which that classification of air conditioning system is made, that is called as a based on way of air cooling. Based on way of air cooling. So based on way of air cooling, that air cooling system or air conditioning system will be categorized into two parts. First one will be called as a direct cooling system, and second one will be called as the indirect cooling system. First one will be called as a direct cooling system, and second one will be called as the indirect cooling system. So in case of direct cooling system, in case of direct cooling system, whatever conditioning air will be there, whatever conditioning air we are cooling, or whatever conditioning air we are uh, doing the processing. So on that conditioning air, we are directly cooling that conditioning air with the help of a refrigerant. So that will be called as a direct cooling system. And in case of indirect cooling system, first of all, we are putting the, or with the help of refrigerant, with the help of primary refrigerant, we are doing the chilled, or we are preparing the chilled water. And with the help of that chilled water, if we are cooling the air, that means there will not be the direct contact. There will not be the direct contact of primary refrigerant and the air which we are cooling. So such type of cooling system will be called as the indirect cooling system. So based on way of air cooling, there will be two types of air conditioning system. First one will be called as the direct cooling system. Second one will be called as the indirect cooling system. Difference I have told. Direct cooling means if that refrigerant, primary refrigerant is directly absorbing the heat. Primary refrigerant is directly absorbing the heat or directly cooling the air which we want to cool. That system will be called as a direct cooling system. In case of indirect cooling system, that primary refrigerant will first of all cool the water, or that primary refrigerant will first of all prepare the chilled water, and that chilled water will absorb the heat from the air which we want to cool. So that will be called as a indirect cooling system. Then second classification is based on the major function or based on the purpose. Second classification of air conditioning system is based on major function or based on the purpose. So if we are using the air conditioning system for the human comfort purpose, that means you might have seen the various offices where we are keeping the, or where we are installing the air conditioning system. Then various IT industries are there. So in that IT industries also we are installing the air conditioning systems. So the main purpose of that installation of air conditioning system is comfort, because human is also acting like a machine. So in the controlled environment, the efficiency of human being will goes on increasing. In the controlled environment, efficiency of human being will goes on increasing. That means those human being will feel comfortable, and if those human being will feel comfortable, efficiency or working ability of those human being will automatically goes on increasing. So for that purpose, if you are installing the air conditioning system, then that system will be called as a comfort air conditioning system. So main purpose of that comfort air conditioning system will be to have the human comfort. So for human comfort, maximum percentage human being will feel comfortable if we are maintaining the temperature, tribal temperature in between the range of 21 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade, and humidity in the range of 45 to 60%. 45 to 60% relative humidity. In between this range, maximum percentage of human being will feel comfortable. So such type of air conditioning system will be called as a comfort air conditioning system. Okay. Now next type of air conditioning system is called as a industrial air conditioning system. Next type of air conditioning system will be called as the industrial air conditioning system. So for proper working of machines or for proper research and manufacturing processes, for proper working of machine or for proper research and manufacturing processes in the industry, in the industry, we require to provide the air conditioning system. So the industries such as textile mill, then paper mills, then special tool rooms where we are manufacturing the machine parts or tool rooms, as well as in case of photo processing plants, as well as uh, almost all the pharmaceutical industries, we require to maintain the proper temperature as well as proper humidity to have the proper functioning of those machines, as well as for occurring of the proper chemical reaction. So if you are going to consider the pharmaceutical industries, so in the pharmaceutical industries, uh, inside the room where we are manufacturing the tablets or where we are manufacturing the drugs, so outside contaminant should not be there, as well as whatever chemical reactions which are occurring or which are required in the while manufacturing the drug, those chemical reaction will occur at particular temperature and particular humidity. So in such cases we require to provide the air conditioning system, as well as in the tool rooms also, as well as in the photochemical machines, as well as in the textile industries, whatever machines we are using. So for proper functioning of those machines, for proper functioning of those machines, we require to maintain certain temperature and certain humidity. So under that certain temperature and certain humidity, the performance of those machines will be very much higher. So for that purpose, if you are providing the air conditioning system, so that air conditioning system will be called as the industrial air conditioning system. So our main intention is to, in case of comfort air conditioning system, our main intention is human being, all the human beings should feel comfortable. And in case of industrial air conditioning system, our main intention is proper working of machines, as well as proper research and manufacturing processes. So for that purpose, that industrial air conditioning system is used, or industrial air conditioning system is installed. Then third air conditioning system or classification is based on season of year. Based on season of year. So based on season of year, there will be three types of air conditioning system. So first air conditioning system will be called as the winter air conditioning system. First air conditioning system will be called as the winter air conditioning system. And that winter air conditioning system is only used in case of winter season only. Only used in case of winter season only. That means whatever heating and humidification, with the help of that air conditioning system, only heating and humidification process is possible. Heating and humidification process is possible. With the help of that winter air conditioning system, only heating and humidification process is possible. That's why that winter air conditioning system is only used in case of winter season only. So such type of system will be called as a winter air conditioning system. So second type is called as a summer air conditioning system. Second type is called as a summer air conditioning system. So in case of summer air conditioning system, only cooling and dehumidification process is possible. Only cooling and dehumidification process is possible, and that summer air conditioning system is only used some cooling and dehumidification. That summer air conditioning system is only used in case of summer season only, where we require to cool as well as dehumidify the outside air. So that system will be called as a summer air conditioning system. And third one is called as a year-round air conditioning system. year-round air conditioning system. That means this air conditioning system will be used throughout the year, though the season is summer season, though the season is winter season or rainy season. So for all the season, if we are using the air conditioning system, same air conditioning system, or throughout the year, if you are using the same air conditioning system, then such type of air conditioning system will be called as the year-round air conditioning system. So in that year-round air conditioning system, both heating and humidification as well as cooling and dehumidification processes are possible as per the requirement. So if our requirement is requirement in the winter season for that year-round air conditioning system, then automatically that heating and humidification process will start. If the summer season will be there, automatically that cooling and humidification process will start. So such type of system will be called as a year-round air conditioning system. So this is the third type of classification based on the season of year. Then next type of classification, fourth type of classification is based on arrangement of equipment. Based on arrangement of equipment. So whatever air conditioning equipment is there, whatever air conditioning system or whatever PCRS system we are installing inside that air conditioning system. So if we are installing that air conditioning system for only for one room or only for one hall, then such type of system will be called as a unitary air conditioning system. This type of system will be called as a unitary air conditioning system. And second, based on the arrangement of equipment, that will be called as a central air conditioning system. Central air conditioning system. So here, in case of unitary air conditioning system, there will be the different types. Based on unitary air conditioning system, there will be the different type. First one will be called as a window air conditioner. Window air conditioner. Second one will be called as a split air conditioner, and third one will be called as a package air conditioner. First one is called as a window air conditioner. So you might have seen the window air conditioner, which are kept inside the or which are kept in the windows only, or whatever split air conditioners are there. You might have observed the split air conditioner in our TPO hall, as well as package air conditioner. So whatever package air conditioners are there, you might have observed those package air conditioner in our international seminar hall. So when you are sitting in the international seminar hall, so whatever air conditioners are attached at the rooftop, so those are called as a package type of air conditioner. So on the window, on the wall, whatever air conditioners are there, those are called as a split type of air conditioner. So this is called as a various types of unitary air conditioner system. And second one is not nothing but the central air conditioning system. So central air conditioning system is whatever requirement of conditioning air is there, whatever requirement of conditioning air is there, all the uh, all the conditioning air, whatever all the required conditioning air will be conditioned inside the air handling unit, inside the air handling unit. And that conditioned air will be circulated at the different location as well as at the different room with the help of duct system. With the help of duct system, such type of system will be called as a central air conditioning system. So whatever air conditioning system you are observing inside the mall, as well as inside the cinema hall, as well as in the Vittal Mandir also, whatever air conditioning system is there, that is called as the central air conditioning system. Are you getting? So this is the classification of air conditioning system. This is the classification of air conditioning system. Now we'll see whatever air conditioning system is there. So the basic components of air conditioning system. So that air conditioning system is nothing but the assembly of different parts. Air conditioning system is nothing but the assembly of different mechanical parts which is used to produce the specific, or which is used to produce the specified condition of air, which is used to produce the specified condition of air within the required space or the building. So whatever any air conditioning system is there, so that air conditioning system is will consist of number of mechanical parts which are assembled with each other, which are assembled with each other to produce the specified condition of air. That means to produce the desirable internal atmospheric condition within the required space or within the required building. So whatever various mechanical components are there which are assembled inside the air conditioning system, those components are nothing but cooling source. First one is nothing but the cooling source. As a cooling source, we may use the cooling coil. Then heating element. As a heating element, we may use the heater. Then control system. So with the help of various control system, that means temperature control, humidity control, various sensor systems will be used. Then distribution system. Then we are using the fans or blowers, as well as for filtration of air we are using the filter. For proper distribution of air or for proper movement of air we are using the grills. And for accumulation of moisture particle we should have the trays. So these are the various components. These are the various mechanical components which these are the various mechanical components which are assembled together to have the or to produce the specified condition of the air within the required space or within the required building. Okay, so for each and every sorry, each and every air conditioning system, each and every air conditioning system will consisting of all those components. Here you are observing the window type of air conditioning system. You are observing the okay. So here you are observing the window type of air conditioning system. So here this is the 3D model of window type of air conditioning system. So this is the wall and this is the window in which that window air conditioner is installed. So that window air conditioner will consisting of two parts. First one will be called as the indoor part. Second one will be called as the outdoor part. So this is the 2D diagram. So this is the wall. This is the wall, and inside that wall we are having the window, and inside that window we have installed this AC. So this is the inside part of the room, and this is the outside part of the room. This is the inside part of the room, and this is the outside part of the room. So in the inside part of room, in the inside part of room, the parts which are available or parts which are present inside that window air conditioner is nothing but the blower. So this is the blower. Here you can observe this as a blower. So this blower will be operated with the help of motor, with the help of motor which is assembled or which is connected at the outside. So here you are observing there will be the motor. So here outside of the blower there will be the evaporating coil. These are nothing but the evaporating coil. So here you are observing this is nothing but the evaporating coil. And after evaporating coil there will be the filtration unit. So there is a filtration unit, as well as grills will be provided, for the proper motion. So here through that evaporating coil, low temperature low pressure liquid refrigerant will be passing. Low temperature low pressure liquid refrigerant will be passing. So whatever air is available inside the room, so that air will be circulated through this evaporating coil with the help of blower. So whenever that inside room air will come or will come in contact with the evaporating coil, so refrigerant available inside the evaporating coil will absorb the heat from the room, and because of the same, here that hot air will get converted into cooled air, and that cooled air will be circulated inside the room. So here in this way that cooled air will be circulated, and whatever air is present inside the room, that will be taken over that evaporating coil. So here you are observing, so whatever cooled air will be there, whatever room air will be there, that will be taken, and that cooled after cooling that air will be circulated again inside the room. So this is the indoor part, and whatever outdoor part will be there, or whatever outside part will be there. So this entire unit is compact one. This entire unit is compact one. Only indoor part will be face inside the room, and outdoor part will be face towards the atmosphere. So whatever outside part will be there, that will consisting of the compressor. This is the compressor. Then outlet of compressor will be provided to the condenser. So this is the condenser. This is the condenser coil. Outlet of condenser will be provided to the capillary tube. So here we are having the capillary tube, and outlet of capillary tube will be provided to the evaporator likewise, and outlet of evaporator will be again provided to the compressor. So this is the VCRS system only. Okay. So here at the outside part there will be the exhaust fan. So here you are observing that there is a fan. So that fan is taking the that fan is blowing the air over that condenser, and because of the same, here it will be rejected. Okay. So outside of the part, outside of the room, there will be the condenser fan, there will be the compressor, uh, then there will be the condenser unit, and capillary tube will be there. So here you are observing this is the fan. So whatever this part is there, that is called as a condenser unit or condenser. This is called as a compressor. Here we are having the expansion device, and here hot air will be rejected to the atmosphere, which is being absorbed by the refrigerant inside the cooling coil or inside the evaporating coil. So this system will be called as a room or window type air conditioning system. Room or window type air conditioning system. Okay. Now there are some limitations of window air conditioning system. Sorry. There are some limitations of window air conditioning or window type of air conditioner. So first limitation of window air conditioner. So as that compressor is installed inside the window air conditioner, that means whatever that window air conditioning system is there, that is one of the compact device. So towards the room, that indoor part will be, or that evaporating part will be faced, and towards the atmosphere, that outside outdoor unit, that is nothing but the condenser part will be faced. So whatever compressor is present inside that compact unit, that will produce the noise as well as vibration. And as that air conditioning unit is placed inside the or that air conditioning unit is placed on the window, that's why whatever noise produced as well as whatever vibration produced, that will directly come inside the room, that will directly come inside the conditioned room. And because of the same, here, because of that noise as well as vibration, the person which are sitting inside the room will not feel that much comfortable. Then second limitation is nothing but evaporator and condensers is enclosed in a single unit. Therefore, evaporator cannot be used as an interior of the room because condenser requires outside air for the cooling. So you might have seen that we are doing the interior. We are doing the interior in our Bangalore or in the office. So here, if you want to install the window air conditioner, if you want to install the window air conditioner, then whatever interior part will be there, we cannot accommodate that evaporator. We cannot accommodate that evaporator of window air conditioner inside the interior. So from aesthetic point of view, it is not suitable to install the window air conditioner. Okay, so that is the second limitation. And third limitation is nothing but for installation of window air conditioner, we require the appropriate size of window or hole in the wall of the room or wall of the office. So that is the third limitation or requirement of window air conditioning system. Then next one is called as a split air conditioning system. So you might have observed such type of devices. So in our TPO hall also, as well as the international seminar hall also, you might have observed. So this unit is called as an indoor unit. So this will be mounted on the wall, and at the outside of the room you can have, or at the top of room also, on the roof also, you can have this outdoor unit. So this will be called as the outdoor unit. This will be called as the indoor unit. So indoor unit will consisting of indoor unit will consisting of evaporator. So inside this indoor unit there will be the evaporating coil. Then filter part will be there for filtration of air. Evaporator fan will be provided for blowing of the air, and grills will be provided. त्या ठिकाणी हे जे ओपनिंग असतं त्या ठिकाणी फ्लिपिंग मुवमेंट होत असते, बरोबर आहे. ती फ्लिपिंग मुवमेंट कशामुळे होत असते, त्या ग्रिल मुळे. आणि बिकॉज ऑफ दॅट फ्लिपिंग मुवमेंट देअर विल बी द प्रॉपर मुवमेंट ऑफ द एअर फ्रॉम द रूम, or proper motion of the air will be provided for, or equidistribution of the conditioned air will be provided with the help of that grill. And whatever outdoor unit will be there, that outdoor unit will consisting of compressor, then condenser fan will be there, as well as condenser will be there. So this will be called as a outdoor unit, and this entire system will be called as a split air conditioning system. Why we are saying it as a split air conditioning system? Because there will be separate two parts, whereas in case of window air conditioning system, separate part will not be there. All the parts will be accommodated inside the one installation only. So that's why we are calling this that as a window air conditioner. But in case of split air conditioner, separate two parts will be there. Out of that, one part will be called as the indoor unit. That indoor unit will be placed inside the room, and another part will be called as the outdoor unit. Though that outdoor part or outdoor unit will be separately placed outside of the room. Okay. So there are some of the advantages of split AC over the window AC. So first advantage is as compressor in case of split AC, as compressor is outside of the room, because we can place that outdoor unit at anywhere. We can place that outdoor unit at the outside of the room, on the wall, or we can keep that outside unit over the room also. That means on the roof also. So as compressor is outside of the room, that's why compressor noise as well as vibration. That's why there will not be compressor noise as well as vibration inside the room or space which we want to condition. Then second, no window opening or fixing is needed, because we can install that indoor unit at anywhere, outdoor unit at anywhere. So no window or opening or fixing is needed. Then third one, the first part can be located in the room with the decorative display. That means if you want to do the interior design, so we can have the interior design with the help of, or with that indoor unit. So first part can be located in the room with the decorative display, and it can be mounted on the floor, ceiling, wall, or behind the decorative structure also. Anywhere we can mount that indoor unit. So these are nothing but the advantages of split AC over the window AC. Are you getting? So are you getting the points which are being taught in this chapter number 5? Can anyone reply in the chat box? Because this is the theoretical part, and after the completion of this theoretical part, we are going to switch towards the problem or numericals. Are you getting this theoretical part? Yes or no? Write in the chat box. Or if you are having any problem, any query, or any question, you may ask. Okay. Now, after seeing the window AC and split AC, we'll switch to the next part. We have seen three types of air conditioning system. So out of that, first one is called as a summer air conditioning system. Second one is called as a winter air conditioning system, and third one is called as a year-round air conditioning system. So we'll see the structure of that summer air conditioning system, winter air conditioning system, and year-round air conditioning system. So here, suppose this is the space which I want to cool or which I want to maintain. So this will be called as a condition space. This I'm saying as a condition space. So to maintain the specific, to maintain the desirable internal atmospheric condition, to maintain the desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition. Outside condition काही असू द्या. If I want to maintain the condition, internal desirable internal atmospheric condition irrespective of external condition, so I need to supply here. I need to supply the condition air. I need to supply the condition air. So in case of summer air conditioning plant, in case of summer air conditioning plant, as we require to do the cooling and dehumidification, as we require to do the cooling and dehumidification. So for obtaining that cooling and dehumidification, various processes or various parts are nothing but, so here this is the damper. This is the damper through which we are taking the fresh air from the outside. Through this damper, we are taking the fresh air from the outside, and inside that fresh air, we are mixing that fresh air inside the recirculated air. So whatever conditioned air is there, whatever conditioned air is there inside the conditioned space, so some of the air will be escaped to the atmosphere through the ventilator part, and remaining air will be called as a recirculated air or return air. So in case of air conditioning plant, near about 80 to 85% of recirculated air we are using. Near about 80 to 85%, depending upon the application. In some of the application we are using the 60% return air. In some of the application we are using the 80%. In some of the application we are using the 90, or so in some of the application we are using the 100% in pharmaceutical industries. So depending upon the various applications, we are using the that percentage use of recirculated air will be the different. Okay. So in pharmaceutical industries, we are using the 100% fresh air, not a single recirculated air we are using. 100% fresh air we are condition, or we are doing the conditioning, and that air 100% fresh air we are supplying to the conditioning space. Whereas in the offices, we may use up to 80% of recirculated air, and only 20% fresh air is required. Okay. So likewise, depending upon the various application, that criteria will be different. So here we are mixing the recirculated air. We are mixing the recirculated air with fresh air. We are mixing recirculated air with fresh air, and that combination. So here the duct or the pipeline which is carrying the conditioned air from conditioning space to the conditioning apparatus, that will be called as a duct. So this type of system will be called as a duct. So that with the help of that duct, we are carrying the air from conditioning space up to the conditioning equipment. So here we are mixing the fresh air and recirculated air, so that mixture of air will be passed through the air filter. So here we are using the HEPA filter. So with the help of that filter, whatever contaminants are there or whatever foreign particles are there, those will be filtered from that air, and that fresh air will be circulated. So here we are having the that purified air will be circulated through that air filter, so that purified air will be passed over that refrigerant plant or refrigeration plant. So this will be acting like a cooling coil. So here temperature which is maintained of that cooling coil will be less than the dew point temperature of the mixed air. Less than the dew point temperature of the mixed air, because of maintaining the temperature of that refrigerant plant less than dew point temperature of mixed air. Here the moisture particle from that mixed air because here the process which we want to occur, that is nothing but the cooling and dehumidification. In case of summer air conditioning, the process which we want to have, that is nothing but the cooling and dehumidification process. Cooling and dehumidification process, that means we have to cool the air as well as we have to remove the moisture particle also. That's why here whatever this cooling coil is there, so we are maintaining the cooling coil temperature less than the dew point temperature of the entering air, less than the dew point temperature of this mixed air. Mixed air means that recirculated air plus fresh air is mixing air, and that air will be filtered with the help of that air filter, and that mixed air will be passed over this cooling coil, whose temperature is maintained below the dew point temperature of mixed air. And because of maintaining the cooling coil below the dew point temperature, here whatever moisture particles are there, those moisture particles will get condensate, and that condensate will be stored. That condensate will be stored with the help of this condensate drop sum. With the help of that condensate drop sum, and here we are having the diaphragm. With the help of that diaphragm, with the help of this diaphragm, whatever uh, whatever moisture particles are there, those moisture particles or water vapors will get converted into liquid droplet. And here outside of this diaphragm, we are having the air which is having the, or which is dehumidified air. So we are having the dehumidified air. Now with the help of this heating coil, with the help of this heating coil, we are heating the air up to the desirable temperature. We are heating the air up to the desirable temperature. So why heating coil is required? Because whatever this cooling coil is we are using, the temperature of that cooling coil we are maintaining below the dew point temperature of mixed air. Below the dew point temperature of mixed air. That means here we cannot cool the air only up to the required condition. We have to cool the air below dew point temperature. So that air, whatever air we are obtaining after diaphragm, that air will have the less temperature, and humidity is up to the limit. So with the help of that heating coil, we are heating the air up to the certain limit, and that cooled and dehumidified air, that cooled and dehumidified air will be supplied to the conditioned space with the help of this blower or fan. With the help of this blower or fan. So whenever we are supplying this conditioned air to the conditioned space, so inside the conditioned space, whatever various parameters are there, which are generating the heat inside the conditioned space. So whatever heat will be generated, that will be absorbed, or this supply air will have the ability, the supply air will have the ability to absorb the heat which is being generated inside the conditioned space. So there are various parameters, or there are various factors which are generating the heat inside the conditioned space. So those are called as the sensible heat factor and latent heat factors. So that we have to see after this summer air conditioning, winter air conditioning, and year-round air conditioning system. So here, whatever supply air we are supplying to that conditioned space, that supply air will absorb the heat which is being generated inside the conditioned space because of various parameter. And after absorbing the heat, here desirable internal atmospheric condition will be maintained. Desirable internal atmospheric condition will be maintained, and after maintaining desirable internal atmospheric condition, that air will be again recirculated. That air will be again recirculated, and inside that recirculated air, some amount of fresh air will be mixed, and that process will continue. While some of the air will be supplied, or some of the air will be exhausted to the atmosphere through the ventilator. So this system will be called as a summer air conditioning system. This system will be called as a summer air conditioning system, and this apparatus, whatever this apparatus you are observing up to this, this apparatus will be called as the air handling unit. This apparatus will be called as the air handling unit. So inside that air handling unit, we are having the filter coil or filtering element. We are having the cooling system, heating system, as well as humidification and dehumidification system. And here to blow the air, we are having the blower. So this system will be called as the air handling unit. So inside the air handling unit, we are doing the various processing. We are doing the various processes as per the requirement. And after doing the various processes as per the requirement, the supply air, whatever air will be produced, that will be called as the supply air. That supply air will be supplied to the air conditioning room or air conditioning space, where the heat which is being generated, that will be absorbed by the supply air, and because of the same, here internal desirable atmospheric condition will be maintained. So this is called as a summer air conditioning system. So whatever remaining winter air conditioning system and year-round air conditioning system will be there. So we'll see that winter air conditioning system and year-round air conditioning system in the next lecture, because now time is almost 11:57. So now I'll take the attendance, and after taking the attendance, we will complete the lecture. Okay. Now our syllabus is in control within 10 to 11 lecture. Within 10 to 11 lecture, our syllabus will be completed. That means maximum up to 10th of January or up to 5th of January, it is possible to cover the 100% syllabus. So we are targeting to complete our all the syllabus up to 10th of January. So today's date is 28th December. So attendance I will take. Many of the students are remaining absent. So it will hamper on your term work mark, as well as if your attendance will be below 80%, then you will be in the defaulted list, and you will not be able to attend the attend the exam. So roll number 1 to 5 absent, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 present, 7 absent, 8 present. Then roll number 9, 10, 11, 12 absent, 13 present, 14 absent, 15 present, 16 present, 17 present, 18, 19 present, 20 absent, 21 present, 22 absent, 23 present, 24, 25, 26 absent, 27 present, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 absent, 34 present, 35 present, 36, 37, 38, 39, roll number 40, 41 absent, 42 present, 43 present, 44 present, 45 present, 46 present, 47 present, 48 absent, 49 absent, 50 present, 51 present, 52 absent, 53 absent, 54 absent, 55 present, 56 absent, 57 absent, 58 present, 59, 60 absent, 61 present, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66 absent, 67 present, roll number 68 absent, 69 present, 70 absent, 71 present, 72 present, 73 present, 74, 75, 76 absent. Okay, these are the. So I have taken the attendance. If anyone has not, or if anyone number I have not called in the present number, you can tell me your number.
63.
Roll number 63. Okay, present. No problem. Anyone else? think I have counted all the numbers. No problem. So now we can end our lecture. So thank you for attending the lecture. We'll see in the next lecture.